our treaties, so we need to go back to Redcliffe to tell our Eamon. I think, since we're heading that way, though, we're gonna go up here. I think both Oghren, and Dagna have a quest that's gonna take us there. Oh, I don't need to buy
Blast and damnation! Of all the...
Yes.
That'd be fun. I've got to figure out the reaver technique. I'm gonna skip it for now. I wonder if I can.
There she is. I'm gonna go talk to her. Look, you gotta back me up here. Got it?
Of course.
Thanks, Warden.
Go get her.
Just be ready to pry her off when she throws herself at me. We don't want to make a scene here. Well, don't pry her off me too soon. I mean, a little scene's all right. Are you sure you're not a baker? 'Cause you got a sodding nice set of buns.
Oghren, is that you?
Yeah, in the flesh, baby.
What are you doing here?
Just trying to kick back with a pint. Fighting darkspawn's a lot of sodding work, you know?
You're fighting Darkspawn?
Actually, this man took on an army of golems, almost single-handed.
It was a bit of pain, but it was a personal favor for the King of Orzammar, you understand?
The whole surface to choose from, and you just happened to come to my tavern?
Well,
Tell her it's fate.
What? Oh, right. It's fate, Felsi. What can I say?
Fate? The ancestors must have a sense of humor then.
Sure they do. You've had a good look at Lady Helmy, haven't you? If her face isn't a joke the ancestors are playing, I'm a Bronto's behind.
So, Lady Helmy must be a paragon of beauty then.
Don't you miss Oghren just a little bit?
I don't know. I haven't tried to hit him yet.
But you were thinking about it, weren't ya?
Oghren, I'm sure I can speak for everyone when I say that there's nobody in Thedas who doesn't think about hitting you. In the face. With a hammer.
Well, we can't waste time here. The Queen's waiting for us.
Oh, the Queen needed a new fool, did she?
Oh well, it's been fun, Felsi. But I better go.
Wait, you're leaving? You just got here. I haven't called you a shaft rat yet.
Well, you can't keep the archdemon waiting. You hurt its feelings, it might just turn the whole blight around and go home. Nobody wants that.
Well, you don't need to fight it right now, do you? I mean, you could have a pint first. You could call me a surly Bronto. I could tell you that you smell like nug droppings.
I'll tell you what, I got some things I gotta do, but I'll come back for that pint when things are settled, you frigid deep stalker.
Fine. But you better not keep me waiting, you worthless copper-plated sword cast.
Wouldn't dream of it. I still got it.
Wait, that was a success? Are you sure?
Weren't you watching? She could barely restrain herself. Might as well rest up while I can. You ready to go?
Actually, we're doing this all wrong. I should have talked to you first.
What about?
Are you sure you're fine with what happened with Branka?
Oh, sure. I'm fine with it. I mean, she was a real firebrand between the sheets, but a bit soft in the skull, you know what I mean? Explains why she left anyway.
You're handling this really well.
Handling what? Branka? That treasure's been long buried. Ancestors take me. You people whine like tea kettles around here.
Okay. Well, since we're here, maybe I'll check in with everybody.
Something you need, my dear?
Just wanted to talk.
Of course.
So, why have you remained a Templar if you hate the Chantry?
Have you seen the uniform? It's not only stylish, but well made. I'm a sucker for good tailoring.
Oh? I don't think I've ever seen you wearing it.
I keep it hidden under my pillow. Sometimes I'll take it out just so I can hug it fondly and remember the good old days. Brings a tear to the eyes, you know.
And what's the real reason?
You don't really want to know about my being a Templar, do you? It's really quite boring.
Then make up something more exciting.
You know, I like the way you think. But I guess if you're really curious, there's no harm in obliging. I have a couple of interesting-looking moles I can show you later, too, if you're interested. The truth of the matter is that I did hate going to the monastery. The initiates from poor families thought I put on airs, while the noble ones called me a bastard and ignored me. I felt like Eamon had cast me off, unwanted, and I was determined to be bitter. But I took some solace in the training itself, I guess. I was actually quite good at it.
What did you enjoy about the training?
The education, mostly, but also the discipline. You need to have a disciplined mind in order to use the abilities we have. It was difficult, but rewarding. I never really felt at home anywhere, though, until I joined the Grey Wardens. And Duncan felt my Templar abilities might be useful for when we encountered Darkspawn magic, so I kept it up. What about you? Do you have anywhere you consider home?
I guess my home is with the Grey Wardens now. With you.
Really? I guess I like the sound of that. We won't always be traveling like this, you know. Once the war is over, once the Blight is... well, a time will come when we'll have to think about having a real home again. Though that seems like a far ways off. And I suppose the Grey Wardens are gone for good. Either way.
They can be rebuilt.
I suppose you're right. We can create new Grey Wardens, but we'll never get back those we lost. I wonder if it would ever feel the same. Anyhow, now I've sidetracked us. We'd better get back to what we're supposed to be doing right now.
What is your desire?
Care to answer some questions?
All right, but I get to stare at you luridly while you do so.
So, what was your opinion of the Dalish?
I know little enough of the Dalish other than the fact that my mother was one, or so I was told. She had fallen in love with an elven woodcutter and accompanied him back to the city, leaving her clan behind for good. And there, of course, the woodcutter died of some filthy disease and my mother was forced into prostitution to pay off his debts. All is tale in the book.
Zevran, that's horrible.
Is it? It seemed normal enough a tale growing up. No different than the other elven boys in the whorehouse. I didn't know my mother either, of course. She died giving birth to me. My first victim, as it were. We were all raised communally by the whores. It was a happy enough existence, ignoring the occasional beating. Until eventually I was sold to the crows. I brought a good price, so I hear.
I'm so sorry.
Ah, compassion and beauty both in the same woman. It is a delight, truly, though what you say is unnecessary, even if it is appreciated. It could have been much worse. Shall I tell you about what happened to the other whorehouse boys who did not fetch a decent price with the crows? Surely your life has not been so idyllic. People like you and I are not the product of happy lives of contentment, after all.
You could say that again.
My original point is that my mother's Dalish nature was always a point of fascination for me. Through all the years of my crow training, the one thing of my mother's that I possessed was a pair of gloves. They were of Dalish make, I knew that much, and beautiful. I had to keep them hidden, of course, as we were not allowed such things. Eventually, they were discovered, and I never saw them again.
Has there been no joy in your life at all?
Oh, there has been plenty. To tell the truth, it is because I expected nothing more. Still, even I eventually thought that it would be better for me if I ran off to join the famous Dalish when one of their clans drew near Antiva city. Naturally, the reality did not live up at all to the fantasies I had constructed as a boy, staring at those gloves. But such is life. Come, enough talk of the Dalish. Let us move on.
Actually... I think I found something when we were in the camp.
Gloves? You're giving me gloves? What for?
They're Dalish gloves, like your mother's.
Maker's breath. You're right. It is like my mother's. The leather was less thick, and it had more embroidery, but these are very close, and quite handsome.
It was nothing.
Still, I appreciate the fact that you even thought of me. No one has simply given me a gift before. Thank you.
Well, I suppose that's enough for now. Oh, well, of course I gotta check in with Sal, too. Do you see anything interesting? What? Thanks? Yuck.
Welcome back, youngster. Looking to go across to the tower?
Yes, please take me.
Off we go then.
Welcome back, friend. You'll be glad to learn that the Circle is well on its way to recovery.
Is there anything else I can do for you?
You've already done much for the Circle. Now you must see to your duty as a Grey Warden.
Actually, I'm here on behalf of Dagna of Orzammar. She wishes to study magic.
Orzammar? Indeed. You have piqued my curiosity. It is common knowledge that dwarves lack the aptitude for spellcraft. She will never be able to weave the simplest magic, no matter how hard she tries.
All she wants is to study the theory of magic.
Fascinating. I suppose the Circle should be flattered.
She's willing to give up caste and clan for this.
I see. If she is willing to sacrifice so much for this, then we should feel honored. Tell Dagna of Orzammar that this path will not be easy. But if she chooses it, then she is welcome here at the Circle. She will live and study with the Tranquil, and perhaps the apprentices, when it is appropriate.
She's going to be overjoyed.
If only the circle was in better shape. I fear she may be disappointed when she arrives.
I think she'll be pretty interested in what happened, actually.
This will be interesting. She could tell us much about our dwarven neighbors. Yes, the more I think about it, the more I like the idea. I shall take this as an indication that perhaps things are starting to look up for the circle. Thank you.
Forgive me, but I must take my leave now.
I wish you well. Know you will always be welcome here.
Right. One more stop. I need Wynn.
Thunder Humper.
Yes. I think you make her very happy.
Oh, not this again. I'm ready this time.
I just wanted to say that this was something good for both of you. Being a Grey Warden isn't easy.
You're the best wrangler
I'm
I've
glad
ever
you found
seen.
each other.
Oh, yes, I bet you are indeed.
Cherish this. It may not last.
And?
That's all I had to say.
Again, Wynn.
Really? No pinching my cheeks? No making me blush?
Of course not. I like you, Alistair. You deserve to be happy.
Not even pinching my cheeks a little?
I thought she was gonna tell us why we weren't meant to be together again, and I was about to get mad.
Stone Preserve King Balin.
I'd like to see what you have for sale, please.
I'm showing you the lowest prices I can afford, I assure you.
Aha.
You must know that murder is wrong, I assume.
I'm sorry, are you speaking to me?
That is why you wish to leave your crows. A crisis of conscience.
Yes, that is exactly it.
Joke if you wish, but I have the feeling that deep down you regret the life you have lived.
It's true. I regret it all.
Must you be such a child? Are you incapable of a single serious conversation?
I know. I'm terrible and it makes me sad. May I rest my head in your bosom? I wish to cry.
You can cry well away from my bosom, I'm certain.
Did I tell you I was an orphan? I never knew my mother.
Egad, I give up.
Hi, buddy. Cool. What is it? Money? Great.
Hello, how can I... It's you! And it's been, well, quite a while. Enough time to get to the circle and back, I hope. Oh, please tell me what they said.
First Enchanter Irving accepted you for study.
Ancestors, bless you. I can't believe it. There hasn't even been a dwarven observer in the circle since Riordan in the 13th century. I need to pack. No, my parents would get suspicious. I need to go. Is there anything I should bring? Books, tuition?
Nothing. The mages need every ally they can get.
Then I should go before my parents come looking for me. If you ever go to the circle again, maybe I'll see you there.
So, you know that I'm a Templar, right?
I believe what I heard was that you were not, in fact, a Templar. You were trained as one before you became a Grey Warden.
That's right, but I still have all the abilities of one, of course. That doesn't make you nervous.
Should it? I am no apostate. Perhaps you should be directing this question at Morrigan.
She claims not to be afraid of me, or anything, really. But you've had more experience with the Templars than her. I know how mages can sometimes...
The Templars serve a function, and a necessary one. If what has happened at the tower proves anything, it is that we mages can be dangerous, even to ourselves.
That's one way of looking at it.
And regardless, you seem like a decent enough young man. If you decide to slaughter me out of hand, I'm sure you would at least inform me first, no?
Oh, sure. Count on it.
Ha!
All right.
So, tell me, you have any children, grandchildren, I don't know, great-grandchildren?
What would make you think I have any children at all? You have to know I've spent most of my life in the circle of magi.
You just seem like the grandmotherly type to me.
News of the hour.
I suppose I'll
Supporters
take
of
that as a comment
disgraced
on my
Lord
demeanor,
Harrowmont
and not
take
my
to the
age.
streets.
Mages aren't forbidden to marry or anything, are they? It's not such an outlandish question.
Isn't it? What sort of man would marry a mage, do you think?
Well, how about another mage? There are just as many men as there are women within the circle, as I recall.
That sort of union is not encouraged. Although that does not stop us from seeking out each other's company from time to time.
All right. Suddenly you don't seem quite so grandmotherly to me anymore.
Good. I would hope not.
You know, Wynn, I have a friend back in Antiva who would be very excited to meet you.
I'm sorry.
Salvail prefers women with experience and maturity. He says they have more substance, are more robust and flavorful.
Does he now?
Indeed. No need to deny it. Zevran knows a fine bird when he sees one.
I am not a bird.
There is no reason to deny yourself the pleasure of male companionship, after all, yes? You might balk now, but I assure you, Salvail is a gentleman of means and quite handsome.
I am going to walk away now. Calmly, coolly. This is to save you the pain of having your brain forcibly removed through your ears.
This must be a Ferelden thing, I swear.
She'll be up and around in no time, thanks to you.
We did it.
You know, I've heard stories about your Circle of the Magi, my dear Wynn.
Is that so?
There is a circle in my country, of course, but perhaps things are different here. I visited the Antivan Circle on official Crow business once, met a beautiful young apprentice who was very eager for a taste of the outside world.
Please, please get to the point.
All I wonder is whether the Templars guard the mages here as closely as they do in Antiva. In Antiva, the Templars watch the circle like a jealous husband guarding the chastity of a wanted bride.
Interesting metaphor, but yes, it is not too different in Ferelden.
And is it also true that when the moon swells to fullness, the mages of the circle gather at the top floor of their tower and, naked under the stars, make love to each other?
What? No. Maker's breath.
Oh, I found out recently that it was not true in Antiva, and hoped that it would be in Ferelden. Alas.
You know, of all the mages I've met, you have to be the first one I can honestly say I've really liked.
Why, thank you, Alistair. I am quite touched. I like you too, Alistair. I imagine my son would have grown up to be someone like you.
Your son? I thought you said you were never married.
That's true. I never have been.
Oh. Then this wasn't before you joined the Circle?
I joined the Circle at the age of 9. So, no. Do you still like me?
Yes. Why wouldn't I?
Good. It appears you got away from the Chantry just in time.
Sounds like I need to have a chat with Wynn.
Braska.
Yes. This is it. Cadash Thaig.
Is this where you're from?
Perhaps. It may also be where I was found. These ruins are always overrun by vermin. There may be something noteworthy further in, however. Was this the home once? Did I live here?
That won't stop me. I'm off.
Going. All right.
I see nothing. Whatever was once here is gone. crawling with filth.
It wants to fight! Yes.
I'm uncertain what I hope to find here.
Another point for me!
As you wish.
What is this? This I remember. It has dates and names. This is to honor those who volunteered, those who became golems. And there is my name, Shale of House Cadash. Just as Caradin said. I remember now. I remember, Shale. That was me.
You remember? That's wonderful, right?
Wonderful to remember being a soft, squishy creature of flesh. Perhaps. I will need to think on these things I have learned. Perhaps I will speak to it of them soon. For now, let us carry on as we have.
So you mentioned you had a son. What happened to him?
I honestly don't know, Alistair. He was taken from me. Such births are seldom, as there are ways to prevent it, but it does happen. And any child born to a Circle Mage belongs to the Chantry.
I didn't know. I'm sorry.
It's all right. It was a long time ago. A very long time ago.
Couldn't you do something about it?
Do what? I was weak from the birthing process, and there was nothing I could do.
Do you think about it?
All the time.
Do you see anything interesting? Okay. Just thought I'd check.
Alistair, what's this?
It's a sock?
It's a filthy sock. How did it find its way to my bedroll?
Maybe it likes you. Socks are sneaky like that. Anyway, it's not mine.
It has your name stitched on it.
Oh, part of Templar training back at the Chantry. The men were always getting their socks mixed up. Anyway, sorry about that. I'll take it from you right now. One of my socks is feeling a little damp anyway. A change would be nice.
You're going to put it on? It's filthy.
And dry. We're not exactly traveling in the lap of luxury here.
What hideous habits you've picked up.
There was a riot in Highever last night. Spoke to a merchant who just came from there.
I heard there was another in Oghren. Folks are angry, that's for sure.
I'm angry. What the Regent's done, that just isn't right. You can't go treating Ferelden lords like lackeys.
Maybe so. Should talk about it after the Darkspawn are done.
Maybe the Regent isn't the only one.
I have a question it may be able to answer, Elder Mage.
Must it always be Elder Mage? I'm not a wizened old crone just yet.
Would it prefer mage well past her prime don't mind the sagging bits?
You have an odd way of requesting answers to your questions.
I'm curious about the abominations of the tower. Is it possible for such a creature to become human again?
Yes, it is simply very difficult. It requires travel into the Fade.
And? Is the mage the same afterwards as the mage was before?
No, I have never met such a person, but no, they are changed forever.
I understand. Thank you for the answer, wise one.
before we head anywhere, we're gonna camp.
All right. I guess I really don't know how to ask you this.
Ask me what?
How do I say this? You think it would be easier, but every time I'm around you, I feel as if my head's about to explode. I can't think straight.
Oh? Thanks a lot.
Oh, I don't mean it like that. I mean... all right, let me start over. Here's the thing. Being near you makes me crazy. But I can't imagine being without you. Not... ever. I don't know how to say this another way. I want to spend the night with you, here, in the camp. Maybe this is too fast, I don't know, but I know what I feel.
You want to spend the night? Are you sure?
I wanted to wait for the perfect time, the perfect place, but when will it be perfect? If things were, we wouldn't even have met. We sort of stumbled into each other. And despite this being the least perfect time, I still found myself falling for you, in between all the fighting and everything else. I really don't want to wait anymore. I've never done this before. You know that. I want it to be with you. While we have the chance. In case...
No need to say anything else. I agree.
You know, according to all the sisters at the monastery, I should have been struck by lightning by now.
It could still happen.
Sure. But if you get hit by the lightning afterwards, it hardly seems like an effective deterrent. You do realize the rest of our little party here is going to talk, right? They do that.
First smart comment, and I feed them to the Darkspawn.
See? This is why I love you. So, what now? Where do we go from here?
We stay together, no matter what.
Right, I can handle that. I hope. Before we go, have I told you that I love you? I did. Well, it won't kill you to hear it again, will it?
I love you too.
See? Was that so hard?
I don't think I could talk to anybody. I'm just gonna go hide my face in this storage chest.
Yes.
Enchantment?
Yes, please.
Enchantment!
If there's anything I can do for you, please tell me.
Let me see your wares, please.
I'm sure you'll be pleased with the goods my boy and I have collected, and with your discount.
Right, I wanted to equip some stuff on you.
I've watched a lot of humans in my time. It should be aware that I've decided that it is not much like any of them.
Because I'm not human?
Oh, it's not just that. Well, I'm sure that's part of it, but it's not only that. Surely it must come from some superior lineage, yes? Some breed of flesh creature that has decided to elevate its genetic stock above its natural shortcomings?
I'm castless and an exile. Is that what you mean?
Then that must be it. My experience with dwarves is limited, but obviously I need to encounter more of them. Other than Oghren. I would appreciate if it didn't spread around that I said anything. Humans might start to get the wrong idea. They might start thinking their race is not completely hopeless.
And we wouldn't want that.
Indeed. Can it imagine the horror? Oh. Now, let us crush something into a fine paste before it starts to think I've gone all soft. Perish the thought. I have a question for it, if it will indulge me. It chose to side with Caradon and destroy the Anvil of the Void. I agree with its decision, and yet the Paragon Branca was the reason it ventured into the Deep Roads. Why did it choose to defy her? It could not have known for certain that Caradon would be able to assist it with the dwarves.
I was willing to risk it, because it was the right thing to do.
That was quite the risk. I am pleased that it worked as it did. At any rate, I wanted to thank it. It gave Caradon the end he wanted, and I'm pleased to have been a part of it. I will have to think on Caradon's words to me. It was a great deal to absorb, but for now, let us go on.
One more time.
It speaks.
I would have expected golems to be different, you know?
Different? Different than what? Different than a statue? Different than a log? Should I talk in a monotone? Yes, Master, I exist to serve the Master. I shall kill for the Master and only for the Master. Perhaps it expected me to have a booming voice. Recite limericks. I can recite limericks, if it likes.
Are they dirty limericks?
Mostly they involve slaughtering pigeons in creative and invasive manners. I suspect it is, as Caradon said, something my former master did changed me. The thought that I'm unique, while smugly satisfying in its way, is also a bit daunting. The golems it has encountered, they were very different.
Being different isn't so bad.
Did I say it was bad? Huh. It thinks I hang on its every word, waiting for approval. I don't know what kind of dwarf I was, but as a golem, I am superior in every way. So there is no loss, surely.
If you say so.
I do. Now stop talking so much. The wagging of its moist little tongue is distracting.
I await your command.
I'd like to ask you something.
So, full of questions, are you?
So, have you ever been hunted by the Chantry?
My mother has been hunted from time to time, yes, by Templar fools like Alistair, which should tell you how successful they generally were. Flemeth made a bit of a game of it, in fact. The Templars would come again, and she would look at me and smile and say that the fun was to begin once more.
I feel sorry for the Templars.
They came with as much swagger and arrogance as they did self-righteousness. Pity them if you wish, for they held none for us. Flemeth would warn them, once. 'Twas a warning they inevitably failed to heed. And then the true game began. Often Flemeth would use me as bait. A little girl to scream and run and lure the Templars deeper into the wilds and to their doom.
Flemeth used you as bait?
'Twas a game, and I a young girl. If I didn't get to play, I would have been very upset. Thankfully, the wilds is a vast place. Once they found us, Flemeth would simply move us elsewhere, and we would be lost within the forest once again. I did not understand the danger we faced until I was much older. I had never heard of apostates or maleficarum.
Do you still think that was fun?
I think that my mother made it fun so that a child did not learn to fear. And I think that it was necessary. There are no trials for apostates, no prisons, no mercy. There are only absolutes, so only survival matters. If the wilds have taught me anything, 'tis this. First, you must survive. Do you disagree?
Absolutely. There are worse things than death.
Oh? I would ask what exactly, but I'm certain that would be a lengthy conversation, and suddenly I grow very weary. Enough of this talk. Let us return to the task at hand.
I have been mistaken.
What do you mean?
You are a soldier worthy to stand among the Beresad. I did not think so when we first met.
What changed your mind?
You did, of course. The day will come when the Arishok sends us here. On that day, I will not look to find you on the battlefield.
I hope I won't see you then, too.
There is no point in dwelling on it. We should move on.
I wanted to discuss something you mentioned.
Speak, then.
What do you mean your mages are beasts?
I misspoke. They are not beasts. Beasts learn eventually.
That's hardly fair, Sten.
Life is fair. Is there some reason you insist upon discussing this?
Yes. Because you're wrong.
You have shown me the error of my ways. Now may we move on?
Ha ha, very funny.
I know. Can we move on?
I still want to talk.
Very well.
Mages aren't as dangerous as you say.
Clearly your chantry agrees.
Not all mages turn to blood magic.
My people have a tale. An Ashkari walked among the fields once, observing the laborers at work. Flax bloomed all around him, the color of still water. The air rippled like a curtain. As he stopped to examine a blossom, a bee stung him on the hand. The Ashkari turned to a laborer for aid and noticed for the first time the heavy gloves and coat she wore. As she tended to him, the Ashkari asked them why she was dressed so in such stifling heat. "To avoid your fate," she replied. "But there are many thousands of bees here," the Ashkari said to her, "and only one stung me. Surely your caution is unwarranted." "The stinger is always a surprise," agreed the laborer. "But so is the bee that simply passes one by."
What the Canari do goes beyond caution, though.
Look around you. Ask the dead who lie here what the cost of one mage's failure is. We should not linger here.
I still have another question.
Very well.
What did you mean about fiends in Saharon?
Ours wear the faces of men.
That's cryptic.
Darkspawn, abominations, plagues, and storms. Men are far more dangerous than these. One moment of betrayal can bring more ruin than an earthquake. You know this.
So they're traitors?
They are Tal-Vashoth. They say they are Grey Ones. True in the knowledge of themselves. They are gaping holes where men used to be. Nothing can fill them.
What do they want?
I don't know. There was a village in the mountains of Saharon. Farmers. They grew cinnamon and nutmeg trees in perfectly ordered rows. There would always be one person waiting, a foreman, a harvester, rank didn't matter. Often they would say nothing. Simply watch as we worked to examine the empty house, a new one each time, that had once been the home of a colleague, a friend. We always made a point of searching. Now and then a body would turn up in a river eaten by rain and crows. More often we found nothing. Even in the worst parts of the jungle, the villagers would send someone with us to see the tiniest piece of bone or cloth. Anything contained the possibility of their lost friend. Must we speak of this? We could be fighting something.
I still want to talk.
Very well.
So why did the Tal-Vashoth fight you?
Isn't it the nature of a wound to bleed? I have no more answers than you. Why do we fight the Darkspawn? Why do the Darkspawn fight us?
Don't the Tal-Vashoth give reasons?
Now and then. Do the reasons matter? It makes little difference to those they fight. Tell me then, why do you fight?
Because I have to.
Yes, there is no other reason. The Tal-Vashoth wish us dead, and we wish to go on living. The point of our war is war.
One more question.
Very well.
You know, maybe the Tal-Vashoth have a point.
Undoubtedly. They've used it to kill countless people.
You don't think they have any justification?
No, but they don't care what I think.
I didn't mean to offend you by speaking of this, you know.
I have no feelings you can hurt, Warden.
Okay, let's go.
As you wish.
Come to talk to old Oghren, have you? Don't know why.
What's wrong, Oghren?
Nothing. I'm fine. Just, I got a hornet in my eye is all. Did you want to talk about something?
Yeah, I want to know more about you.
What about?
So, do you miss Orzammar?
What? Miss Orzammar? Are you mad, in addition to being ugly? They treated me like a puddle fly back there. I'm never going back.
So how do you like the surface, then?
It's sodding great. At first I was a little queasy with all that air, but there's just so much of it. No one has any idea who you are or what you're doing. And the ale? Oh, who'd have thought ale made with grain? Aye, the surface is great. It's like a big, bright world of filth without a ceiling. My kind of place. Hey, let's go find something to kill, huh? All this talk makes my hands twitchy.
On your order, Grey Warden.
Do you need anything?
The Jarl was generous, but rushed. Certain areas could see improvement. We're a mercenary force, Warden. Much of our equipment is self-financed. Were you to commit additional funds, we'd upgrade as we saw the need.
You witnessed the rarest of things, Warden. The Dalish stand ready to defend Ferelden.
Do you need anything?
We have assembled on a short schedule. Certain factors of equipment could be better. Crafting components would serve best. Basic ones like elf root and deep mushroom.
The Circle of Magi stands ready to assist, Grey Warden, as do the Templars of the Chantry.
Do you need anything?
There are always areas to improve on, Grey Warden. The most useful for my talents are runes.
Orzammar has sent her best, Warden. It has been a long time since the Dwarven army has marched on the surface.
And what do you need?
Outfitting any army on short notice, there's always room for more gear. Gems would serve the most utility. The Middlestone, sapphires and the like. We're dealing with many smaller foundries, and larger values might overwhelm.
Everything.
You are good to your troops, Warden.
What's on your mind?
So, why did the spirit choose to help you, do you think?
I have always had an affinity for the spirits of the Fade. As a child, I never feared my dreams because I knew they were there.
I've never experienced that before.
I've always been able to feel the spirits, even if I never saw them. And as I nurtured my talent in the circle, I became more sensitive. I began to notice every time I was in the Fade, whether it was in a dream or in magical practice, that I was being watched.
Creepy.
Sometimes I would see it, a glowing, nebulous form. Most times I would just feel its presence, gentle and comforting, but somehow alien. I think it is a spirit of faith. They have never been seen before, and perhaps I am wrong. But something tells me I'm not. It always felt like the same entity. This one spirit was curious about me, and was guarding me, for want of a better word.
You mean it protected you?
There were times when I was in the Fade that it seemed to stretch forth to shield me, keeping me safe. And I think it gave me strength in my most terrible battles, Ostagar being one of them.
So this spirit of faith is your personal protector?
I don't know why I was chosen. Perhaps it knew that there was something more that lay in store for me. I like to think that I was given a rare chance, and I'm going to make the best of the time so generously given to me.
I'm glad you think traveling with me is worthy of your time.
I will not lie motionless in a bed with coverlets up to my chin, waiting for death to claim me. That is not the death for me. And so I will fight alongside the Grey Warden, and help prepare her for the task that is yet before her. So you had better listen to me, because I swear, if I should fall before the end and you don't seem to be doing things properly, I'll get up again to give you a good finger-wagging.
I'll hold you to that promise.
You know, I think you'll be all right, even without my help. What's on your mind?
Is there something we can do to cure you?
Cure me? What, am I sick now?
In a sense?
Even you know that you cannot cure the dead. And I'm not the only one dying. You are too. I'm just more efficient about it. Ah, child. Your concern is heartwarming. But death comes to everyone, and it is not something to fear.
You're not afraid?
People fear not death, but having life taken from them. Many waste the life given to them, occupying themselves with things that do not matter. When the end comes, they say they did not have time enough to spend with loved ones, to fulfill dreams, to go on adventures they only talked about. But why should you fear death if you are happy with the life you have led? If you can look back on everything and say, yes, I am content. It is enough.
Are you content?
I think I've led a good life, a full life, and I, for one, am not afraid of death, whatever it may bring. They say that when you die, your spirit travels through the Fade and returns to the Maker. And after that, we'll see, won't we? What's on your mind?
Do you have any regrets at all?
I try not to dwell too much on the mistakes of my past, of which there are many. I would go quite mad if I did that. But I do have one regret. The greatest misstep of my life, made even more grave because it had dire consequences for someone else.
Tell me, it might make you feel better.
Years ago, I was assigned as mentor to a lad, Aneirin. He was my first apprentice. Aneirin was an elf, raised in one of the elven alienages, and he was very mistrustful of humans, especially humans in authority.
I can see how this could be trouble.
What Aneirin needed was time. Time to get used to his new home, time to emerge from his shell, so we could build a rapport. I gave him no such time. I was young and arrogant. He is a mage, I thought. He needs to grow up and act like one. I expected too much from him too quickly. I gave no consideration to his origin or his feelings. and he retreated further from me. All I could think of was how stubborn he was, how he was throwing away all his talent and his potential just to be difficult.
That just seems so unlike you.
Oh, age and wisdom have mellowed me. I was quite different back then. Much more unforgiving. You cannot plant crops in the cold, wintry ground. You cannot teach a student who is closed off and unresponsive. Patience is what is needed, and I learned that too late to help him.
What happened to Aneirin?
Aneirin ran away from the circle one night. I had berated him over some trivial, ridiculous matter that I no longer remember. I drove him away because of something utterly unimportant. He was a child, 14 at the time of his leaving. They had his phylactery, and they hunted him down.
Why didn't they just bring him back to the tower?
They called him Maleficar, a mage who practices forbidden magic, deserving of death. He was a child, misunderstood and lost. I begged the Templars to tell me if he suffered, if they gave him a quick death. I got no answers from them. I was his mentor, and they wouldn't even tell me what became of him.
That was cruel of them.
I should have known better. I had the best mentors. They were kind, compassionate. Why didn't I learn from them? I failed Aneirin. All I had to do was listen to him. He would try to talk to me, and I would tell him to concentrate on his spells. He talked about the alienage sometimes, and the Dalish. He always talked about looking for the Dalish elves.
Maybe he did find the Dalish.
The Templars are well trained and thorough. That he still lives, it would be a vain hope. The apprentices that came after Aneirin benefited greatly from the lessons I learned from him. In a sense, he was my teacher, and I his student.
Then maybe his sacrifice was worthwhile.
And there it is. My story, my one greatest regret.
What is your desire?
Care to answer some questions?
All right, but I get to stare at you luridly while you do so.
So, do you actually enjoy being an assassin?
And why not? There are many things to enjoy about being a crow in Antiva. You are respected, you are feared, the authorities go out of their way to overlook your trespasses, even the rewards are nothing to turn your nose up at. As for the killing part, well, some people simply need assassinating. Or do you disagree?
No, you're probably right.
I often find myself the instrument of fate, ending these lives for one necessity or another. I console myself with the notion that most of them had it coming. As far as enjoying the act of killing itself, why not? There is a certain artistry to the deed, the pleasure of sinking your blade into their flesh and knowing that their life is in your hands.
Actually, I think I know what you mean.
There are many things I did not enjoy about being a crow, of course. Having no choice, being treated as an expendable commodity, the rules, oh, so many rules. But simply being an assassin, I like it just fine. I will continue to do it if I can, even if I am not a crow. Honestly, could you picture me doing something else?
Why not? You can do whatever you like.
Whereas I am content merely doing what I happen to be good at. It's a talent that not many come by honestly. I don't see why I need not pursue it. Of course, all these thoughts are moot. Chances are still good that you and I will perish, eaten by darkspawn or slain by the crows at some point. Very gruesomely, I imagine. But it is pleasant enough to chat about. Come, let's move on while our boots still have some wear in them.
Yes, it is good to have my sword at my side again. I call her Asala, the soul, my soul. She is forged from rare blue steel and has served me faithfully for many years. Yes, you understand what it is like to have a weapon that is part of you. Few others do.
I was just thinking about what happened to the elves, and I'm reminded of a song sung to me many years ago. It was when my mother died, and this wise elven woman comforted me and told me that we shouldn't fear death or hate it. Death is just another beginning. One day, we must all shed our earthly bodies to allow our spirits to fly free.
That is comforting.
It's a beautiful sentiment, I think. One that brings peace and hope to the grieving.
Is that for me? Really? Wow! Wow!
Oh, marvelous.
Very nice. Very nice indeed.
You have excellent taste.
No comment? Alright.
A fine gift. You have my thanks.
Oh, how dear of you. Thank you so much.
You have my thanks.
Yes.
Yes.
Who to bring?
Yes.
One more stop. And just avoiding going back to Redcliffe, I think. But, let's follow up on Wynn's lead.
You have not asked me about my conscience for some time, my darling Wynn.
That is correct. And I am not your darling.
So once again I am rejected. Just as I am by the cruel, cruel fates. They are harsh mistresses to the elves.
Zevran, I am old enough to be your grandmother.
You say that like it's a bad thing.
And what would you do with me if you had me, This is a game you play, nothing more.
Ha, you are a cynical woman, Wynn. Cynical and powerful. It drives me mad with desire.
You did it, outsider. You saved us from the ravages of the curse after all.
May the creators bless you, truly.
But Cauthrien is lost to us, after all these centuries. He died heroically, I hope.
Yes, I believe he did.
I would like a happy ending to his tale. He will be a role model for many Dalish children to come. And now Keeper Lanaya prepares for us to enter into war alongside the humans. I never thought I'd live to see the day. I, for one, look forward to fighting against these darkspawn creatures. Do you now? Let's hope you return and tell us all about them. As for you, outsider, I expect I'll be telling tales about the Grey Warden one day, hmm? Aneirin and Grey Warden. Join us at the fire if you like, but haven't you got a war to get to?
Have you ever heard of an elf named Aneirin?
I appreciate you trying to find him, but what are the chances?
Aneirin the healer?
You know Aneirin?
He lives? No, it can't be him. Perhaps it is a common elven name.
No, I know of only one Aneirin.
Ah, it makes sense. Aneirin said that he was from the human cities. You are old friends, then?
Where is he? Is he in the camp?
If you seek Aneirin, you must venture into the forest. He prefers to be amidst the trees and the animals.
Thank you all so much.
I should go.
Dareth Shirral.
Look at that.
Might be a nice continent for us.
And I'm off.
Now we go into the
Watch out! Are you joking? You're joking!
Might I offer you a bit of advice, my good friend Alistair?
I like my hair the way it is, thank you.
Truly. As you wish. Though my advice is regarding something else completely. It has to do with your recent exertions with your fellow Grey Warden that I overheard.
Oh.
It did seem as if you just got going when all grew quiet. You are feeling all right, yes? Perhaps you're tired.
We aren't talking about this, are we? Did I hit my head?
I have some roots from home that you may chew if you need energy. As for volume, perhaps you ought to try arching your...
Whoa, whoa. Awkward.
You Fereldans are so finicky. How will you ever learn how to pleasure each other unless you talk about it?
Not listening. La 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 la.
Yes.
So let us pretend that I do, indeed, believe that murder is wrong.
We are not having this conversation.
Were I to believe such a thing, what would I do with it? Feeling guilt about things one can no longer change seems so very time-consuming, with little hope for actual gain.
But you could change what you do in the future.
What would that require exactly? It seems to me that feeling guilty would take up a great deal of my time as it is.
Perhaps you could save a life instead. One for every life you have taken.
That is a great many lives to save and feel guilty as well. Perhaps I could do one or the other.
It is not a game, Zevran. You either know right from wrong, or you do not.
I am so confused. I think I may cry. May I lay my head in your bosom?
No. No, you may not.
You are so very cruel. How is it that you do not feel guilty?
I feel guilty for ever having spoken to you.
Friends, turn back, please. These woods are a danger to those who do not know the paths.
Aneirin?
Wait, I remember your face. But younger, more impulsive, stern. Wynn?
I thought they had killed you.
They very nearly did. The Templars found me while I was searching for the Dalish. They ran me through and left me for dead.
I brought this on you. Oh, I was a dreadful mentor, harsh and impatient. I am sorry for the way I treated you.
I've put that behind me, and you should too. I didn't fit in with the Templars in your chantry. My path lay elsewhere.
Irving is a reasonable man. He will find some way for you to return. The Circle needs new blood. It needs to change.
I have fond memories of Irving. He was always kind to me. I will consider your proposal, and perhaps I will speak with Irving. However, I promise nothing. Now, it is getting late and you have much to do. You should be on your way.
I'm pleased to have made your acquaintance, Aneirin.
Likewise. My years in the Circle were not a complete waste. I learned more than I let on. You did teach me, Wynn, even if you didn't know it. Look at this. It's the hardened sap of a tree native to this forest. It's been something of a lucky charm for me, and now I want you to have it.
Very well. I'm grateful. May your gods smile on you, Aneirin.
And on you.
More really great moves over here.
You are not welcome here.
I'm here on behalf of the Mages Collective.
Doing the Templars' dirty work for them, eh? Templars or mages, it means nothing to us. There is dark power here, and you won't stand in our way.
Time for more practice!
Next time. I couldn't help hearing about your predicament. Forgive me if I'm prying.
Yes, you are.
But what does it feel like being possessed by a spirit?
Why does this interest you so?
I simply wish to get to know those that I travel with. Is that wrong of me?
No, of course it isn't. Well, let me see. It is hard to describe. It is comforting. I feel safe. Loved.
Comforted. Loved, yes.
It is like being held close. Cradled. The bond is so complete that I am unable to extricate myself. Nor do I wish to. Wait. Why do you have that look on your face?
I am simply imagining it. Continue, please.
And there is a constant warmth that spreads outwards from the very center of my being, infusing my body with...
Oh.
Andraste's grace, what are you thinking about now? No, I don't want to know. I feel dirty. Do not speak to me.
All right. Everybody's being so weird. All because I'm trying to avoid going back to Redcliffe. Actually. Yeah. That's in Denerim. 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 Just did that. Yep. No more avoiding it.
Alistair, may I have a word?
Of course. Anything for my favoritist mage ever.
It seems you and our fearless leader are inseparable these days. Joined at the hip, almost.
That's a bit of an overstatement, don't you think?
Well then, now that you're in an intimate relationship, you should learn about where babies really come from.
Pardon?
I know the chantry says you dream about your babies, and the good Fade spirits take them out of the Fade and leave them in your arms. But that's not true. Actually, what happens is that when a girl and a boy really love each other...
Andraste's flaming sword, I know where babies come from.
Do you? Do you really?
I certainly hope so.
Oh, all right then. Oh, look, you're all red and mottled. How cute.
You did that on purpose.
Now, Alistair, why would I do such a thing?
Because you're wicked. That frail old lady act, I'm so not fooled. I'm onto you now.
Now Wynn's at it.
I understand we will be joining you in battle as soon as the hunters have recovered. I look forward to it.
Okay, one more cube.
I lied to you, you know, about why I left Orlais.
Why?
I didn't feel like talking about it then. What happened to me. Maybe it will affect us, maybe not, but you should know. I came to Ferelden and the Chantry because I was being hunted in Orlais.
Hunted? What for?
I was framed, betrayed by someone I thought I knew and could trust. Marjolaine. She was my mentor and friend. She taught me the bardic arts, how to enchant with words and song, to carry myself like a highborn lady, to blend in as a servant. The skills I learned, I used to serve her, my bard master, because I loved her, and because I enjoyed what I did.
How did she betray you?
You can say it was my fault. There was a man I was sent to kill. I was to bring Marjolaine everything he carried. I don't know who this man was. She gave me a name and a description, and I hunted him down. I found documents on his body, sealed documents.
You opened them, didn't you?
My curiosity got the better of me. Something told me that I needed to know what was in those letters. Marjolaine had been selling all kinds of information about Orlais to other countries, Nevarra and Antiva among others. It was treason.
Isn't that what bards do?
Some. But I had always assumed Marjolaine only operated within Orlais. This was an unhappy surprise for me. My life as bard taught me that my loyalties should be kept fluid. My concern was not that she was a traitor, but that her life would be in danger if she was caught. Orlais has been at war with so many countries. It takes a harsh view of such things, as I later discovered.
What do you mean?
I should have left well alone, but I didn't. I had to tell Marjolaine I feared for her life. She brushed aside my concern. She admitted her guilt, but said it was in the past. That is why the documents had to be destroyed, she said. I believed her. I kept believing up till the moment they showed me the documents, altered by her hand, to make me look the traitor.
Who's they?
The Orlesian guards. They captured me. Did terrible things to make me confess and reveal my conspirators. It was a traitor's punishment I endured. And at the end of it, all that awaited me was eternity in an unmarked grave.
How did you get out?
The skills Marjolaine taught me were good for something at least. I broke free when I saw the opportunity. I did not seek Marjolaine out. If she thought I was coming for her, she would have me caught again.
And so you came to Ferelden, to Lothering.
I was tempted to confront her. I was furious, betrayed. But what could I do against her? And so I fled to Ferelden, to the Chantry and the Maker. Ferelden protected my person, and the Maker saved my soul. And that is the reason I am here. The real reason. No more lies between us, at least in this.
Thank you for trusting me with this.
It feels good to have this off my chest. Thank you for listening and understanding.
Just leave me alone, Warden. Seriously.
Why? Are you upset about something?
Upset? Ugh. I don't get upset. I get drunk. Did you want to talk about something?
I guess we could talk about you.
What about?
So, what's it like to be a warrior in Orzammar?
You get a sword or an axe, and are told to go out and defend your city. It's the best thing in the world. That is until you try to live in the city you saved.
What do you mean?
I mean, they train you to kill, teach you to harness your rage at the first noise you hear, then try to set 100 sodding rules about it. Like those provings. Ancestors show their favor through the strongest arm, right? So why so many rules saying how to fight, and when you win, and not to bloody kill? Killing's what swords are for.
I see what you mean.
You toss a nug to a deep stalker, you don't expect it not to eat the thing, right? This makes me cranky. Don't you have any other inane questions?
Actually, let's talk more some other time.
All right.
Again, we'll talk more later.
Aye, all right then.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome?
You led me to Aneirin. You persisted, even though I was sure all you were going to find was a dead end.
It always feels good to get resolution.
I will never be able to repay you for what you've done for me. Finding Aneirin allowed me to bring that chapter of my life to a close. I feel free. A great weight has been lifted off my heart. This moment, it feels like the moment before the sunrise, when all the world is still, holding its breath, waiting for first light. I can stop thinking about my past and look forward to the future. Thank you, my friend. You will always have my gratitude.
that's not a sign that we have some unfinished business, then I don't know what is. So we need to assemble the crew and go to Denerim. Before we do that, I'm going to change my armor since I've been wearing the same thing forever. Switch it up a little bit. Yeah, I like that. Still Grey Warden. That's something new. I think everybody else is set. I'm sure Leliana wants to change up the look before we go into the city, you know? Especially she's got this ancient elven getup that just doesn't seem right. Very roguish.
Yes.
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 Hail, Grey Warden. We shall honor our treaty to the Grey Wardens. It will not be long now before the Dalish are ready for battle.
The king sends his greetings, Grey Warden. The clans of Orzammar will be ready to fight against the Blight.
I understand you've acquired all the allies you could. That's good. We can call the Landsmeet if you are ready. I would prefer not giving Loghain time to consider, but it is up to you. I do not wish to go to Denerim unless you are with me.
Let's go to Denerim now.
Excellent. I shall make the arrangements. Let us be off to Denerim, and may the Maker watch over us. Denerim is the heart and soul of Ferelden. It was the city of King Calenhad, the birthplace of Andraste. As stubborn as a Mabari, and as good to have on your side. If we defeat Loghain here, the rest of the nation will follow us. By calling the Landsmeet, I've struck the first blow. The advantage, for the moment, is ours. He will have little choice but to show himself, to oppose us directly. He will strike back at us. The only question that remains is how soon. Loghain, this is an honor that the Regent would find time to greet me personally.
How could I not welcome a man so important as to call every lord in Ferelden away from his estates, while a blight claws at our land?
The blight is why I'm here. With Calen dead, Ferelden must have a king to lead it against the Darkspawn.
Ferelden has a strong leader. Its queen. And I lead her armies.
If Anora rules, let her speak for herself.
Ah, the Grey Warden recruit. I thought we might meet again. You have my sympathies on what happened to your order. It is unfortunate that they chose to turn against Ferelden.
I don't accept the sympathies of deserters and regicides.
You should curb your tongue. This is my city, and no safe place to speak treason for anyone. There is talk that your illness left you feeble, Eamon. Some worry that you may no longer be fit to advise Ferelden.
Illness? Why not call your poison by its true name? Not everyone at the Landsmeet will cast aside their loyalties as easily as you and these sycophants.
How long you've been gone from court, Eamon? Don't you recognize Rendon Howe, Arl of Amaranthine and Terran of Highever?
And current Arl of Denerim, since Urien's unfortunate fate at Ostagar. The Regent has been generous to those who prove loyal.
Bootlicking appears to be profitable these days.
Don't interrupt, Churl. Your betters are talking.
Enough, Cauthrien. This is not the time or place. I had hoped to talk you down from this rash course, Eamon. Our people are frightened. Our king is dead. Our land is under siege. We must be united now if we are to endure this crisis. Your own sister, Queen Rowan, fought tirelessly to see Ferelden restored. Would you see her work destroyed? You divide our nation and weaken our efforts against the Blight, with your selfish ambitions to the throne.
What efforts can there be when you outlaw the Grey Wardens?
Calen depended on the Grey Warden's prowess against the Darkspawn, and look how well that ended. Let us speak of reality rather than tall tales. Stories will not save us.
I cannot forgive what you've done, Loghain. Perhaps the Maker can, but not I. Our people deserve a king of the Therin bloodline. Alistair will be the one to lead us to victory in this blight.
Oh, is that all I have to do? No pressure.
The Emperor of Orlais also thought I could not bring him down. Expect no more mercy than I showed him. There is nothing I would not do for my homeland.
Well, that was bracing. I didn't expect Loghain to show himself quite so soon.
Why is he doing this?
Maker knows. Perhaps he's gone mad. I would have imagined pigs would fly before Loghain MacTyr would turn against our king.
Have you known Loghain a long time?
My sister married King Merrick while he was still in exile. At that time, he and Loghain were inseparable. The wild prince who'd never seen the inside of a castle and the farmer's son. When Loghain joined Merrick's rebels, he was just a raw-boned boy, but he got on one knee to swear that he would see Ferelden free or die trying.
And now he kills Merrick's son and steals his throne.
And conspires with a blood mage to poison me. It is a bitter dose to taste. The Chantry speaks truly about the corruption of power. If a man like Loghain could go and do this, I would never have believed he would do anything but what was best for Ferelden. We need eyes and ears in the city. Loghain has been here for months. The roots of all his schemes must begin here. The sooner we find them, the better we can turn them to our advantage. Go have a look around, and see what you can turn up. Better yet, find the nobles who have arrived for the Landsmeet. Test the waters. See how many will support us. When you're ready to talk strategy, come upstairs to my sitting room. We can lay out our plans for the Landsmeet then.
Anyone is like to have a fit. Our Eamon needs to show up without notice more often.
You know, I could get to like this. The last time I came to Denerim, I stayed at an inn so filthy the bedbugs had fleas. You call?
Just checking in. Never mind.
This is a nice change from having to sleep in the woods, isn't it? Something I can help with?
Nothing. Never mind. Seems like everybody's just settling in. Who are you?
I hope all the accommodations are to your liking, Warden. Please let me know if anything is troubling you.
Is it true there's a prince among the Arl's visitors?
None of them looked all that princely to me.
Is it true there's a prince among the Arl's visitors?
And I'm off. Well, bring it over, child, and be quick.
Excuse me, I have to dust the Earl's sitting room.
What do you do here?
I'm a chambermaid, sir. I empty chamber pots and change linens. Now and then I dust, just for variety's sake, you understand? I beg your pardon, sir, but I really can't be seen standing about. The housekeeper will have my head. Good day.
Yes.
Going.
Ah, Warden. I trust you've made yourself comfortable.
Yes, it's very nice.
Good, because it's likely to be your last rest for a while. This is Erlina. She's...
I am Queen Anora's handmaiden. She sent me here to ask for your help.
Or perhaps the young lady prefers to speak for herself.
Why would Anora ask us for help?
The Queen, she is in a difficult position. She loved her husband, no? And trusted her father to protect him. When he returns with no king and only dark rumors, what is she to think? She worries, no? But when she tries to speak with him, he does not answer. He tells her not to trouble herself.
Are you saying the Queen believes Loghain killed Calen?
My Queen suspects she cannot trust her father. And Loghain, he is very subtle, no? But Rent and Howe, he is privy to all the secrets and not so subtle. So she goes to Howe. A visit from the Queen to the new Isle of Denerim is only a matter of courtesy, and she demands answers.
I guess that didn't go well.
He calls her every sort of name, traitor being the kindest, and locks her in a guest room.
She has soldiers. Let them free her.
If the palace guard besiege Howe's estate, my lady will certainly be killed before they can reach her. I think her life is in danger. I heard Howe say she would be a greater ally dead than alive, especially if her death could be blamed on Earl Eamon.
Give me one good reason to believe this crazy story.
Because you do not want Loghain ruling Ferelden, and if Anora can speak at the Landsmeet, her voice would sway many nobles.
We may have no choice but to trust Anora. The Queen is well loved. If Loghain succeeded in pinning her death on me, I'm not sure that's a risk we can afford to take.
We should expose his plot against Anora to the nobles.
And who would tell them? Me? An elf escaped from Orlais? What Riordan noble would listen to my words? Rescue my queen, and I promise she will reveal all, and at the time when it will hurt Rogain most.
You're right. We should help.
I have some uniforms. I'll hire so many new guards every day. A few more will not cause much stir. I will show you to the servants' entrance. We must slip in and out with my queen before anyone is the wiser. I will go ahead to House Estate. Meet me there as soon as you can.
I haven't been here in a while. They've changed the dining room. Something you need, my dear?
Just wanted to stare at you for a moment. Save the queen.
Yes.
Feel like stealthy.
Yes.
Important. And I actually think I'm gonna take Sten instead of Leliana. I know that he's probably a little less stealthy, but also
Yes.
who would actually try to stop him? You know? Be too intimidated, I think.
Take this. You've earned it.
Magic exists to serve man and never to rule.
Hello there, Warden. I'm a friend. I've heard you're putting up the good fight against Loghain and Howe, right? Good for you. Make us spit on all those arrogant noble bastards. I've also heard you have certain skills. Skills of the street, you might say. No judgments here, mate. I want to help you.
Who are you?
The name is Slim Cauldry, and if you've heard of me, I've been doing a sad job of it, haven't I? I hear a great many things, and for those who view certain pesky laws as mere nuisances, there's some ripe fruit to be plucked out there. I can point the way. All I ask is for a little slice for myself.
And what will you do with your cut?
My share goes to a good cause. The poor. My family. I've got 15 cousins. 15! Can you imagine? My uncle must walk around with a permanent bulge. It's disturbing, that is.
Yeah, tell me more. I guess I'm interested.
Well, one of my mates noticed your skills. Nice piece of work, that. Uncommon caliber, if you don't mind me saying. But I need to know what else you can do. Ever done bump and grabs? Do much blending in shadows? Different opportunities for different folk, you know.
Well, stealth I have covered, but I haven't really picked pockets.
More of a second story man, eh? So was I back in the day. The thrill of the hunt. Dodging guards, in and out, no one the wiser. Ah, the good life. Now that we have that settled, just ask away. One point. I don't like blood much. Call me old-fashioned, but the Maker says thou shalt not strangle, decapitate or whatnot unless the other fella really had it coming, eh? I realise sometimes you do what you have to, but restrained, right? So, what are you interested in?
Know of any good places to break in?
I've got a place for you. It should be easy money for you. It'll cost 1 sovereign, though.
All right.
Lady Sophie is an intimate of Howe. Real intimate. She's visiting the country, because that's what rich folk do when the whole bloody kingdom's in danger. Sorry, they just get me so angry. Her room in the Nord Noble Tavern is unattended. That means her valuables are just there for the taking. You've got the tavern staff to worry about, plus she has hired a guard. A very overworked, tired and bored guard, though. Just be careful and you should be fine. Good luck.
Under typical circumstances, in this world or beyond. Put that life behind me, but nobles kind of deserve it.
Strange that matters can be so tumultuous and yet the day still be so bright. Oh, my pardon. Just thinking aloud. Are you here for the Chanter's Board?
No, but what do you do here?
I am Sister Justine, curator of the reliquary of this chantry. And pride again. It is hard to live up to the example of Andraste.
What does a curator do?
The archivist tends the books, and I tend the sacred relics. I also search for more to add to our collection, which is more difficult than it sounds.
Oh, well, I found these scrolls in a Tevinter ruin.
Really? Oh, pardon my incredulity. I would like to examine them in any event.
Just be careful with them. I believe they're ancient.
Let me see. The scrolls are old, no question, and the script. It's written in cipher. Early believers used them to keep their writings safe from the Tevinter Magus. These could be authentic. Please, let me examine it.
Here you go.
I need parchment, quill, and ink. What was the trick to the cipher again? I examined your scrolls. I know a few of the early chantry ciphers, but I'm not fully familiar with this one. The bits I have made out. This may be an account of Maferath's final days, and perhaps more.
Maferath, as in Andraste's husband?
I know. It's remarkable. The same Maferath who betrayed our prophet and saw her burn alive in Minrath Rus. If we could get a real translation, well, it could be the find of our lifetime.
How long will it take to decipher?
It could take months. The ciphers were designed to be difficult for the Magisters to decrypt. Who knows what secrets we can uncover, what truths we can find. Here is all of the allowance I have for acquisitions. Take it and go. 1,000 blessings.
Those who bring ham.
Perhaps I could have a try at that.
And so here is the mighty Grey Warden at long last. The crows send their greetings once again.
So they sent you, Taliesen? Or did you volunteer for the job?
I volunteered, of course. When I heard that the great Zevran had gone rogue, I simply had to see it for myself.
Is that so? Well, here I am, in the flesh.
You can return with me, Zevran. I know why you did this, and I don't blame you. It's not too late. Come back and we'll make up a story. Anyone can make a mistake.
Of course, I'd need to be dead first.
And I'm not about to let that happen.
What? You've gone soft.
I'm sorry, my old friend, but the answer is no. I'm not coming back. And you should have stayed in Antiva.
I've been in
Let's do this!
I love this game. Shall we compete for points? I still remember my first battle. And there it is. Taliesen is dead. And I am free of the crows. They will assume that I am dead along with Taliesen. So long as I do not make my presence known to them, they will not seek me out.
That's a good thing, right?
A very good thing. It is in fact what I had hoped for ever since you decided not to kill me. I suppose it would be possible for me to leave now if I wished. I could go far away, somewhere where the crows would never find me. I think, however, that I could also stay here. I made an oath to help you, after all, and saving the world seems a worthy task to see through to the end, yes?
Zevran, if you want to go, you should go.
But that is what I'm asking you. Do you want me to go? Do you need me here?
I want you to do what's best for you.
I'm not sure how to respond to that. Nobody has ever... I mean, normally these things are decided by others. Then I suppose I shall stay? Is that good?
If that's what you want, then yes.
Then stay I shall. I am with you until the end. Provided you do not tire of me first. Or I die. Or you die. But there you go. Let us return to the task at hand, then. There is still much to be done, yes?
Yes.
Going.
I'm here to discuss the stories of Gaxkang. I'm not leaving.
Grey Warden, isn't it? Strange you would force such a visit in a time of blight. I suppose I am used to inspiring a different kind of seeker.
Explain yourself.
Fine. I encourage fools to waste their lives in fantasy. Those adequate for my purposes find the gems, and then I find them. You are different. Eyes are on you from a very high vantage, Grey Warden. I cannot hide in your wake, but I will not be a footnote. Witness Gaxkang!
Yes.
Next time.
How about you then? That won't stop me. How
I love this game. This really gets the blood pumping. Too slow.
How about you then?
I haven't been this hurt in, well, ever. Oh, another battle it is!
How amusing!
Yes.
Good day.
Going. Look over there! Let's wipe them out quickly!
Perhaps I could have a try at that.
The servant's entrance is on the other side of the house. We must slip past this crowd to reach it. We will have to be very careful. Our Howe is inside.
What's the crowd gathered for?
The estate is in poor repair. The new owl, he has not been very prompt in paying his workmen. I will be right behind you. This way.
No, the carpenter's craft hall has had enough of how convenient and busy schedule.
Someone's creeping around down there. Go check it out.
Now let's see. Which one first?
Someone is coming.
Going.
I can distract the guards, but you must move quickly.
Wait, we need to put on our disguises.
Hurry! My lady does not have much time. Are you all prepared? I will go distract the guards.
Hold on. What good are the uniforms if they don't get us inside?
These two know who is allowed to come and go. They will not be fooled. But the uniforms should work on most of those inside.
All right, let's go.
I will lure them into the courtyard. Wait in the bushes. Oh, you must come! I saw something! By the fountain! I think it was a darkspawn!
Darkspawn?
They will drag us all underground to be eaten!
Should we call for help?
Did you fall off a cart full of stupid? Call for help? So they can see us act like scared little girls because of some knife-eared wench?
They will eat us all alive! Please, get help!
If there is something out there and we don't sound the alarm, we'll look worse than scared.
And drast these holy knickers. Fine, we'll check the courtyard, if it'll keep you from wetting yourself. But there's nothing there.
Thank you. Oh! It was over here! Quickly! It took me forever to be rid of those two. You must be careful now. The servants, they will not look closely at anyone in uniform. All guards are alike to a cook, no? But you should not draw attention to yourself. Most of the guards are new. They will not know you for a stranger at a glance. It is best you keep your distance from all of them and try to blend in.
Where's Anora?
She's in a guest room off the main hall. Andraste, guide us.
Kitchen is a disgrace. How did the old armed servants ever cook anything in here? No one ever said the Kendalls had any sense.
In that they say most people at the dairy. This roast is going to be charred on one side.
We can fetch me the celery root from the larder. Quickly, child. We're late this evening.
I say how on the level of it and build a new one. You'd have to knock down every place he owns then.
Wow. For all we know, it's not mutton. How's pizza by it? Cook's probably roasting the elk.
Help, right?
Well, now isn't that a shame? When did you get back from Howe?
Day before yesterday. Kennel duty. What's the point of that, I ask you? Nobody in his right mind tries to steal an attack dog.
Three of the oath. Read and win.
The cook's not made mutton again.
Perhaps I could have a try at that. Perhaps I could have a try at that.
The Grey Warden is here, my lady.
Thank the Maker. I would greet you properly, but I'm afraid we've had a setback.
What sort of setback?
My host was not content with leaving me under heavy guard. He sealed the door by magic.
Okay, great. Now what?
We must get her out of there.
Don't panic, Erlina. Find the mage who cast the spell. He'll most likely be at Howe's side.
I doubt he'll just open the door for me.
Well, if he didn't know you were here, he soon will.
This sounds like a trap.
Please, Warden, I beg you, do not leave my queen here.
Free me, and I promise you my aid in the Landsmeet.
We do not have much time. We must go before the guards discover us. Calenhad will probably be in his rooms. They're at the end of the hall, on the left.
Everyone's at dinner, don't worry.
Perhaps I could have a try at that.
Huh. All right. Huh. All right. And I'm off.
What? Who goes there?
I thank you for creating such distraction, stranger. I have been waiting days for the opportunity. Do you think you could... Alistair? Is that you?
Who? Wait. I do know you. You were at my joining. He's one of us. A warden from Orlais. Jada, I think. Or was it Montserrat? I'm afraid I don't remember your name.
I'm Riordan, senior warden of Jada, but born and bred in Highever, and glad to be home.
What are you doing here?
For the most part, attempting to hold my tongue. I was sent when we received no word from King Calen as to the outcome at Ostagar. The king had invited all the wardens of Orlais and their support troops to join him. Then nothing.
How large a force did you bring with you?
We had 200 wardens and 24 divisions of cavalry. The first we heard of Loghain's edict was when everyone was turned back at the border. That was when the rumor reached us that wardens were being blamed for the massacre. We finally decided it was safest to send someone alone to learn how best to fight the Blight and this regime simultaneously. As a native Ferelden, I volunteered to make the crossing.
But the Archdemon's nearly here. Will we have no help?
The other wardens won't risk their strength fighting Ferelden's civil war. If they spend themselves against Loghain, there is truly no hope. They recall accounts of the first Blight, how many cities fell. If Ferelden is too foolish to save itself, at least, we'll be ready when the Archdemon leads its forces further. Besides, I hear you haven't been doing badly at raising an army yourself. But perhaps if the edict can be lifted, I will send a message as soon as we are gone from this place.
And how did Arl Howe capture you?
With an offer of hospitality and a poisoned chalice. I was fool enough to think Loghain didn't yet know who I was.
Are these your papers, then?
Yes, these are my records. The names of the dead I could recognize at Ostagar. What I could find of Duncan's own recruitment records. Copies of the joining ritual I rescued from our Denerim vault. Those should never be seen by any outside eyes, but I trust in their encryption.
The joining ritual? Can you induct other Grey Wardens?
Would that I could, for Ferelden sorely needs them. But for the joining to work, the recruit needs not only fresh Darkspawn blood, but a drop of blood preserved from an archdemon. Ferelden's supply should have been in the vault, but it was gone. I can only imagine someone took it out and Loghain either confiscated or destroyed it.
Then we need to get it back.
As you know, the joining's chance of success is slim anyway. Loghain has done far worse to the Wardens than cut us off from recruiting. And from the rumors flying through Denerim, removing him from the throne is already your plan, no?
So where is Howe?
I saw him going to the dungeons. He may still be there.
Why don't you come with me?
I wouldn't be much use to you in my current condition. And if you'll pardon me, I've a sudden desire to breathe some free air. I will seek you out later, after I find a good physician. And good luck, sister.
Who goes?
Oh, quit kidding around. You know me.
You think you're clever, do you? Anybody tries to come in here without Howe's say-so, we get to do what we like with them. I think we finally got a bit of entertainment here, lads.
Going. Position. Fire.
That's it!
This really gets the blood out of it.
Why is it that
Yes.
Yeah!
All right.
Healing would be helpful
Injury
now.
isn't going to go away quickly.
Going.
Bodies? Oh, gross.
Going.
Don't leave me here. Get me out of here. Was this supposed to be a lesson? Did my father think it funny to leave me for so long before sending you?
Who are you?
Then my father didn't send you? I am Oswin, son of Ban Sigurd, of the Dragon's Peak Banon. If you aren't one of our soldiers, pray tell me, who should I be thanking for my rescue?
I'm Lyra of the Grey Wardens.
Then I have no question about why you would come, Warden. For it is your men who have suffered the most here. You have my heartfelt gratitude. And I assume the gratitude of the entire Dragon's Peak Banon. If my father sent no one after me, I can only assume that he does not yet know the true colors of the snakes he is allied with. But if you talk to him, I'm certain he would offer you any reward you might ask.
Will your father side against Loghain at the Landsmeet?
Then there is a Landsmeet after all. Howe said the Jarl of Redcliffe was dead, and the Landsmeet called off. I swear, if there be any forum to speak out against Loghain, my father will be there. Now, please, I must try to get to him. I cannot see the last of this place too soon.
Going.
Yeah!
Practice.
Shall we complete the
Nice try!
Past all the blood.
They said to retreat. The horn sounded, and we turned, and then the screams. We rode, and they screamed, and screamed, and...
It's all right.
Mother, can you smell the blood? They said it was only Darkspawn. But we ate them too. They died, and we left them. In the swamp. The witch. The witch!
He's obviously mad. I don't think you'll get anything more out of him.
You're free now. Go somewhere safe.
Safe? Is there a safe? Perhaps next door?
What month is it? Are you some enemy of Aurelian's? Please, I feel like I've spent half my life down here.
Urian died months ago.
Dead? Then who's ruling? His son, Vaughn. He struck me down and I woke up here. People were so angry, they They were thinking of petitioning the king.
The king is dead as well. Loghain rules in his place.
There have been many changes since they caught me. I need to find out what happened. I need to get home, or flee the city. I thank you for your aid, stranger. I wish I had more than gratitude to offer.
Huh.
Well, well, the Grey Warden. I must say I'm surprised Eamon would condone you invading my castle and murdering my men. Is he losing faith in the persuasive powers of his Landsmeet?
I know your game. No more words.
You should have left when you had the chance, Warden. Slunk off to the Anderfells to hide with the rest of your kind. This Landsmeet is a farce. Loghain will triumph, and you will die.
Now let's see which one wins.
Right then.
Make her spit on you. I deserved more.
And I'm off.
Who's there? Stay away. You can't do this to me. I'll have you all flayed. I'm the Arl of Denerim.
Sure, and I'm the Queen of Antiva.
I'm Vaughan Kendalls, heir to the Arling of Denerim. It's true. Too many of our troops were lost at Ostagar. When the riots started, Howe came with men to reinforce the garrison here. Or that's what he claimed. As soon as I let him into the palace, he threw me in here. One more victim of the Elven uprising, he said. Let me out of here. I'll do anything.
What are you saying caused the elves to rebel?
You know how elves are. Every now and then they start to think they're people, and you have to put them back in their proper place.
You know what? Denerim is better off without you.
Maker, have mercy on your faithful servant. Andraste, Bride of the Maker, have mercy on me. Alstana, is that you, little sister? No, I don't know you, do I? Are you real?
Are you all right?
Alstana? I don't know. Where is my sister? Have you seen her? I'm Erminric, Knight Lieutenant of the Denerim Chantry. You aren't one of the Tern's men?
He sounds like he's in lyrium withdrawal. He's got all the signs, confusion, weepiness. He probably doesn't even know what he's saying. If the Grand Cleric knew he were in here, she'd be spitting hot coals. Nobles don't have authority over Templars.
I failed in my duties, Maker. Forgive me. I failed, and there's no telling what he's done.
Who are you talking about?
The Malefica. He had turned blood magic upon Templars and Circle Mages to escape from his tower. Near Redcliffe, I cornered him. But the Ten's men took him from me and brought me here.
This Maleficar, was his name Jowan?
Yes. He destroyed his phylactery. We were spread out, trying to find him. I was alone. You are real, aren't you? My dreams are so strange now. Please, if you're not a dream, help me.
You realize the door is open, right? You're free.
No one can free me from failure, save blessed Roleplay.
So, what do you want me to do?
Give this ring to my sister, Alstana. Tell her I'm sorry. Please. Ask her to pray for me. Lady of perpetual sorrows, pray for me.
My thanks.
Let's go.
Thank you. I'll trust you to lead us safely out. If Howe's people find me, I'll be killed. And my people will insist on escorting me back to the palace, where my father may also have me killed.
Warden, in the name of the Regent, I am placing you under arrest for the murder of Rendon Howe and his men-at-arms. Surrender, and you may be shown mercy.
I'm here to free Anora, who was held captive.
Don't be ridiculous. The Queen isn't being held prisoner here or anywhere else. Her father would never stand for such a thing.
Fine, believe whatever you want.
Bring them down! Loghain wants the Warden, dead or alive.
Battle is over, is it?
Eamon, we have a
I would have
problem.
liked to get back at the one. I suspect we're going to need a good plan, or a lot of knights, or perhaps both.
Calm down. What has happened?
The Wardens have been captured.
What? How could this happen?
Never mind that. The question is how to free her.
Surely you mean them, Your Highness. We need Alistair too.
Yes, of course, I meant Alistair too. Cauthrien will take her to Fort Drakon. Getting in will be no small feat.
Oh, you're awake. I was starting to worry.
Are you all right?
I've been worse. I'll be better still when we get out of here.
The others are coming. Don't worry.
Who do you think will come?
I'm sure that Zevran will come.
Oh, I wish I could see that. One person assaulting Fort Drakon all alone.
Okay, well, Sal will probably come too.
I hope you're right.
What's your business in Fort Drakon?
What's wrong with him?
Oh dear. If he dies, I still expect to be paid for this delivery.
All right. Just take him into the side room there. I'll go get the captain to let you through. Just hang in there, okay?
They fell for it. Now we have only to wait. Don't look so surprised. I'm a professional. All right, what's this about? This dog is to be delivered to the kennel. Why does the blighted Houndmaster never notify me of these things? Very well, take him through. And tell Neville I want a word with him when you get there.
How many went to Lothering?
I don't know. I heard they all but emptied the palace, though.
We may want to rethink this.
Did you hear what happened to Sir Cauthrien?
No. What?
Hey, where'd you come from?
Is that a purebred? Maker's breath.
Blighted mutt!
Take it easy. You can't just attack a Mabari.
Are you mad? Didn't you see that cur bite me? I'll turn him into a rug.
And trust his knickers, man. It's a Mabari. He wouldn't have bit you if you weren't such an ass.
You're taking the dog's side? Oh, that's it.
Well done. Remind me to buy you a new
Do it in the mess like everyone else.
After this.
Break it up, you two. You wanna fight? Do it in the mess.
And this is where we dispense with charm and subterfuge. These guards will know we have no business here.
Intruders! no mercy.
Ah, my dear Warden. Did you miss me?
Let's get on with it then.
Do you see anything interesting? Okay, just checking.
We have dogs in Antiva. They run in the streets and eat garbage. It's true. They're treated as vermin mostly. Not like here in Ferelden. You're rather lucky to live here, you know. Indeed. Here they make statues of dogs. They carve you into their thrones and put armor on you. Amazing, really. But you still smell like a dog. In fact, you smell like several dogs. Yes, well, ignorance is bliss, I suppose.
I think we work well together.
Maker's breath. It's good to see you in one piece, my friend.
Indeed. We have been praying for your safe return, Warden.
It's good to see you're all right, Anora.
I was uncertain you would respond as you did, considering the consequences. I am glad you did. Thank you. Now, however, we must work together. And quickly. My father has gone mad. I didn't believe it at first, but he is gripped by a paranoia so severe it prevents him from seeing sense. He saw me as a threat. Yet even now, I'm certain he will be telling the nobles you are dangerous murderers that have kidnapped and mind-controlled me. He may even believe it.
Can he still take the throne without you?
Perhaps. It will be more difficult for him, but if my father says the Grey Wardens are the enemy, many will believe it. He is a legend.
It's true. Our position in the Landsmeet is not strong, and this does little to help us.
At least that snake Howe is dead. That alone will not be enough, however. My father is committed to his path. You will need ammunition for the Landsmeet, and there I can help. You have only just arrived in the city, so perhaps you are unaware of some recent events. Denerim has been in turmoil since Ostagar. Many people here are angry or grieving. Strangely, the unrest is worst in the alienage. Few elves accompanied the army. They should have little reason to be upset, which means that Howe and my father must have given them reason. I don't know what is happening there, but I am certain my father has his hands in it.
A useful lead, Anora, but you could have sent this information with your maid.
That is true. I feared for my safety as Howe's prisoner. But to tell the truth, I sent Elena to you because I hoped we might join forces. You need that evidence for the Landsmeet, but you also need a stronger candidate for the throne. You need me.
And what of Alistair?
I have no doubt Alistair is biddable enough, and decent, but even with his blood, he is no king. You think only I can see it? Not only that, Alistair is a Grey Warden. It will look like you are trying to put a Grey Warden on the throne, despite your claims. I am a neutral party, and I am already queen.
Anora, you are indeed Caelan's widow, but...
I am the daughter of Ferelden's greatest general. Who do you think truly ruled this nation for the last 5 years? Caelan. I am what this country needs, not an untrained king who does not even want the throne. I can help you stop my father. Consider what I have said. For now, I think I will retire to my room. Warden, when you have a moment, I ask that you speak to me in private.
Well, she's quite spirited. I remember when Loghain first brought her to Denerim. Poor Caelan was a good boy, but Anora was always 2 steps ahead. Had him jumping when she snapped since the first time she batted her eyelashes. I cannot help thinking she may be trouble, but we should keep her close, all the same.
Loghain is the only trouble I care about.
Loghain is the problem at hand, yes. We need to do all we can to erode his support before we call the Landsmeet.
Well, why do you think Anora is trouble?
This is an alliance of convenience. For the moment, we are united against Loghain. Be careful how much trust you place in her. I do not for a moment think Anora means to give up her power easily. Still, I would rather have her where we can watch her than actively working for Loghain.
Well, what about something else?
We certainly have a great deal to plan.
This alienage, what do you think he's doing there?
Maker knows what that man is capable of now.
Suppose I've work to do.
Of course, if I might make a suggestion, go speak with Anora. She will either be a powerful ally or a powerful enemy, and the sooner we know which she is, the better.
Hello again, Warden. It is good that you came to speak with me. I will be blunt. I can see that your voice will be a strong one in days to come. It is to you that Eamon listens, and with good reason. My father must be stopped, but once that is done, Ferelden will need a ruler. I would welcome your support for my throne.
I don't think I'm as important as you believe.
No? You're a Grey Warden. And despite the fact that my father will paint himself as the only one who can protect the country from the Blight, it is not so. Secondly, you saved Arl Eamon from a plot that no doubt had its origins in Howe's sick little mind. People will not forget that. You are competent and powerful, and in the right place at the right time. Used to your advantage, these things could bring you far.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
I agree that there is much to be done before the Landsmeet, but don't you think plans should still be made for what will follow? I do.
So, why should I support you?
For years, I have ruled this kingdom as Caelan's queen. As much as they loved Caelan, all of the Banon knew this to be so. Caelan was a good man, but what is needed now is not another good man, but a good ruler. I sent Elena here not solely because I thought I needed help, but because I saw an opportunity for us both. I need your support, Warden, and you will need mine.
So you're proposing an alliance?
That is exactly what I am proposing. When the time comes, you support my bid in the Landsmeet to remain on the throne. You will be seen as my father's enemy, yet you will be in support of his daughter. You will be seen as supporting the interests of Riordan, as opposed to solely those of the Grey Wardens. In return, I add my voice to yours. Do you see? Together we can do what alone we cannot.
Yes, I do see. Well, what happens to Loghain if you're queen?
He is my father, as well as a great general, who has served his nation well until now. If there is a way for him to live, I would prefer it.
There isn't, without question.
Then that is how it must be. I will always be my father's daughter, but even I know he must pay for his crimes. It will not make me glad, even so. Does that affect your decision? Can we yet come to an arrangement?
I believe that I agree. You'll have my support in the Landsmeet.
That is good to hear. So, we have a deal, Warden. I trust you'll keep your end of the bargain. Now, I suppose, comes the task of dealing with my father. I suggest you be careful. He will be wary of you, and no doubt is watching your moves. But of course, you know this. You are the expert here, not I.
Before I go, do you need anything?
No. And while I know your concern is hardly disinterested, still, thank you.
So I'm guessing someone told Anora I was planning to steal her throne. She has a nasty glare. Did anyone mention this wasn't my idea? I think she's a great queen. As far as I'm concerned, she's welcome to it.
So you still don't want to be king, then?
I'm not a political man. I like being a warden. There's real evil out there, and it's something we can fight. It's something we can defeat. Making laws, settling disputes, that's not me. I wouldn't have the first idea how to do it. What do you think I should do? Go ahead and be king, just to let it happen?
We could run off together instead.
Good plan. We could go to Orlais, live in sin, and eat cake until the Darkspawn finally catch up to us. Cursed Darkspawn! It's just that everything I've heard about Queen Anora is that she's the one who really ruled here, not Calen. She's smart, tough, determined. Well, I feel a bit like Calen's substitute. I think I'll be better off against the Darkspawn. All right, Alistair, enough whining. Thank you, Alistair. That's excellent advice. I'll do my best.
Don't you listen to him.
No, it's all right. The moment has passed. Time to face the music.